From the Mapimo Vocational Center, which is acting as the tallying center for the Magarini parliamentary elections that have come to an end this evening, which began all the way from 6 a.m. and the process ended at around 5 p.m., whereby the counting exercise commenced immediately at 5 p.m. in areas or in some of the polling stations where they commenced their electoral or their voting process from 6 a.m. exactly at 6 a.m. And what is happening exactly, if you can hear from the background, that's the tallying exercise that is happening here. The residing officer who is taking over, who is overseeing the entire tallying exercise in this area. And some of the ballot boxes are already coming in or streaming in from different polling stations within the constituency. As you all know, we have about 193 polling stations in Magarini constituency. But we want to just break it down for you or for our dear viewer this evening, just to be able to understand what exactly happens in a tallying center once the ballot boxes have arrived at the tallying center. Where exactly are they taken to? Because as you can see right behind me, there are a few IEBC officials who are kind of verifying them. But I want to bring on board one of the observers who has been able to oversee the election process or the voting process all the way from morning. Bwana Matthias, welcome. Karibu sana. Kindly take us through what is happening this evening. Before you tell us what you've been able to observe throughout the day, maybe tell us briefly what is happening this evening once the ballot boxes arrive at this place. What happens next? You can just introduce yourself and then you take us through.
Thank you very much. My name is Matthias Shipet. I'm an observer from Haki Africa. Currently what's happening is that the presiding officers and the deputy presiding officers are coming with the ballot boxes. They're also sharing the results with the officers of the IBC here. So they're proofreading and checking if the results are really tallying with the KIMS kits and the number of votes that has been casted. Does it tally with the number of the results that are actually being shared? So after here, then they will be taken inside the tallying center, where the results are given to the returning officers and also the chief agents. So the chief agents will be verifying, seeing the results as they're in, and there are also phone numbers of the agents who are in those polling stations, so they can call and ask so and so if this is the correct results or not. So after that, that's when they now start keying them and projecting them on the projectors so that everybody can see how far the results are. So we're expecting that it's a process that possibly would go up to around 3 or 2 p.m. So it's really around 193 polling stations, and remember, also in the polling station there are also streams, so we're expecting about 450 presiding officers to be here. So that will be a very hectic exercise, but what we say is that we have observed a very peaceful process, very smooth. What we're expecting is that these results now will give us the winner, the projected winner in this case, and possibly the MP of Magarini, so the people of Magarini can now go on with their lives.
But Matthias, are there any challenges that you are able maybe to take note of, or any hitches that you are able to observe throughout the voting exercise that you feel that the IEBC needs to address them, even as we head or even as we anticipate for the upcoming 2027 elections?
Yeah, there's been a challenge of the voter turnout. It's really been very low. In most polling centers would be around 20 to 25%, and I think that's normal for many by-elections, but this was really down for this by-election. So we are hoping that more people will turn out in 2027, because if this is the reflection of how 2027 will be, then definitely it will be not a good election. So apart from that, we also noted that many of the voters needed assistance when they were going to vote. So voter assistance or voter education was really down here. So we hope that in the next coming election, IBC will give electoral voter education to the people, that they can be able to know how to vote, where the tick or the X does not go beyond the box and all that. So those have been issues that have been arising here, but we are glad now that we are coming to a closure of this process. We are wishing all the candidates the very best, and may we, everybody has to accept the verdict of the people of Magarini. So that's what I can say for now.
If you say that the turnout was a bit low, what does that signify for the people of Magarini?
I think it's not been many people just really didn't want to come out and vote. Some of them probably were too busy. Remember, it's not a public holiday, so some of them were at work. The harsh economic situations, as you know, the way it is in the country, so many could not be able to come and be able to cast their vote. Some came a bit very late when it's almost the closing time. So we hope and we know that for 2027 obviously would be a public holiday, so people will have all the time to choose whether to come to the polling station or not. So there shouldn't be any other reason. But we've also noted many of the voters who also didn't want to vote were actually remaining outside, trying to see if they could get anyone to help them to give them something to come and vote. So that's something common in our country, but it's something that we need to really talk about, because we shouldn't be able to go to a polling station on the basis of who has given me anything or how much I've been given so that I can be able to cast my vote. So that's really something we need to look at.
Moving forward, do you feel that IEBC should be considerate the fact that, as you said, the voters' turnout maybe will be as a result that today was not a holiday, or it was not designated for people not to go to work and just avail themselves for the voting exercise? Do you feel these are some of the changes moving forward that IEBC should consider maybe in the future, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel this by-elections, if they can't be done on a public holiday, then there's possibly should look for a way that we can be able to accommodate the voters to be able to cast their votes, because some of them were really at work, some of them work in EPZs, some of them work in the workstation. So it would be easier for the people of Magarini or anyone who is in such by-elections that it can be done possibly on a Saturday or on a weekend where they can be able to have time to actually come and cast their votes.
Now, for those who are not able to come vote, now for reasons maybe if they are held up at work or things of the sort, do you think they will feel well represented now that they have not exercised their democratic right?
Obviously, the question is on the legitimacy, because if you are elected by 20 or 15% of the registered voters in a constituency, then it doesn't give you that type of a legitimacy that you need. So I'm sure it will be a bit hectic for the people, I mean the elected leaders, the elected leader that will be elected through this process. But we hope that once elected, he will be able to unite the people of Magarini and bring and make people have reasons to come and cast their vote in 2027, because some of them are actually demotivated by the fact that leaders do not actually fulfill their promises during elections, campaigns, and their manifesto. So we hope that leaders will actually deliver on their campaign manifestos.
Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Yes, that's it from us, Dorina Range. Thank you so much. Now, as I told you earlier before, is that the tallying exercise has already commenced at the Mapimo Vocational Training Center, and as you've seen already, the ballot boxes and the presiding officers from different polling stations within the constituencies have already started streaming in at the tallying center already to commence the exercise or to continue with the exercise. Because as I told you earlier, this is just a summation area where the results come from the polling stations after they have already been counted from the polling stations. Now they come here at the tallying center after, as you've heard from the observer Martha, so they come by here, they pass by here, where there are some few IEBC officials who will go through the papers, who go through the results before they're taken into the tallying center. That's it from me, Dorina Range. Thank you so much. In case of any updates, you be sure that I'll be here just to keep you updated and to bring you to speed on any latest updates from Magarini constituency in Kilifi County. Back to you in studio. My name is Kasicha Namasha.